Hello, we are Group 3 and my name is Jessica Park. Me and the members of our group, Lynn, Jessica, Julie and Chloe, will present an analysis of the sample data from 727 respondents to research types of advertisement work with the population. Our group has aimed the management research problem to be what kind of advertisement is the most effective and for what segments of the population. We have formulated 3 research objectives, and under these 3 research objectives, we had research questions to find the solution to our management research problem. The first research objective is to identify the effectiveness of different advertisements and regroup the respondents into 3 types. First one is the respondents who saw the anti-obesity advertisement, which is ad 1 and ad 2. Second is those who saw healthy eating advertisement, which is ad 3 and ad 4. Lastly is the non-food related advertisement, which is ad 5. Thus, we have divided the respondents into 3 groups for our first objective. Now, our first research objective has 2 research questions. One is how preferences and tastes differ among the 3 different types of advertisement. This question aims to find whether preference and taste is influenced by the type of advertisement they saw. Second question is being how the ad is evaluated differently among the different types of advertisement. So this question determines to find out which ad type was evaluated to be effective. Moving on to the second research objective, we were to identify what characteristics of the respondents affect the evaluation of advertisements. Our second research objective has 2 research questions. One is diet, attention to nutritional label on the food products, or sex of the respondents a factor affecting the evaluation of advertisements? And the second question is, does BMI, age, or level of knowledge about food and nutrition affect the respondents' evaluation of ads? We aim to assess deeper into the data to analyze the variables that are really important and impacts the evaluation. The third research objective is to identify how characteristics of respondents in terms of the variable age and knowledge affect the evaluation on the 3 different types of advertisement. Based on the finding of the previous second research objective, the 2 variables age and knowledge is being focused here. So 2 questions are being researched. First being, how does age affect respondents' evaluation on the different types of advertisement? And then finally, the second being, how knowledge, level of food, and nutrition affect the respondents' evaluation on different groups of advertisement. So, moving on, based on these 3 research objectives and questions, me and the members of our group will explain the analysis we found, and the methods we used, as well as the logic behind the tests we chose to answer the questions. I'll discuss about the first question of the first objective. For the first research objective, we evaluate the effectiveness of the ad depending on the different types of advertisements the respondents saw: anti-obesity, healthy eating, and non-food related. Our first research question was to see if preferences and tastes of respondents differ depending on the type of ads. This was tested through 3 separate paired t-tests because the ad number was grouped into 3 types and the 2 variables, taste and preference, was being tested. Assuming that respondents would prefer food they found to be tasty, we learned from the conclusion of the test that what they found to be tasty and what they preferred differed. We could conclude that the preference was influenced by the type of advertisement they saw.
Hi, I'm Jessica and Kwong. For those second research questions, we are answering the first research objective. In these research questions, we try to find it if the respondents evaluate different groups of advertisement differently. We use this one-way ANOVA test which analyzes differences between different groups. In these questions, we would like to identify whether which kind of ads are better communicate with audience and investigate the level of effectiveness of each ad. For the null hypothesis, we say that there is no difference between 3 groups of ads. For the alternative hypothesis, we say that there is differences between 3 groups of ads. First, we group the first 2 advertisements into group 1 as they are related to more junk food related ads. Then we group the third and the fourth advertisement into group 2 as those ads provide more health and nutrition information, and the last advertisement as group 3 as it is non-food related ads. In the results, for the first variable, advertisement is effective, we found that group 2 ads is more effective than other groups. For the second variable, advertisement is informational. It is shown that also group 2 is more informational to respondents as it includes detailed information of food and diet habits. And for the third variable, advertisement is positive. It is also found that group 2 ads have a high rating of this aspect. And for the fourth variable, we found that the advertisement is actually cheery, and the group 2 ads got the highest rating for this item. And for the fifth variable, advertisement makes me think. Respondents agree that group 2 ads makes them think in an effective way rather than other three ads. And for the last variable, the message of advertisement is clear. Group 2 ads are more relatively clear to the respondents. In overall speaking, group 2 ads, which is the third and the fourth ad, they function more effectively rather than the other three ads. As a result, we could all know that people tend to have advertisement with more detail and description. Also, because of part of the social cultural reasons, people are more health conscious nowadays, and they pay attention to news that related to healthy eating habits. From the results, we could also know group 1 ads. It seems it is not effective and well functioned like the other groups of ads they did. However, most of the respondents who see the non-food related advertisement are neither disagree nor agree to every single evaluation. It could be known that because respondents do not see any objectives or purpose through the non-food related ad, it leaves audience feel unclear about what the ad message is.
Hi, I'm Lynn Li. I will talk about the first research question of our research objective 2. After finishing general research on the relationship between advertisement groups and their advertisement evaluation responses, we would like to do more in-depth research to find out the characteristics that affect respondents' evaluation responses, which comes to our second research objective, that is, to identify what characteristics of respondents affect their evaluation of advertisements. So we selected 6 variables that are diet, attention, sex, age, knowledge level, and BMI, and separated them into 2 kinds of variables, nominal and scale variables respectively, and ran the tests separately. Thus, our first research question is diet attention to nutritional label on the food products or 6 of respondents a factor affecting their evaluation of advertisements? Since advertisement evaluation is scale variable and there are 2 groups of people answering one question, we used independent t-test for each factor to find out if there is difference between 2 types of people in their evaluation of advertisements. There are people who are on a special diet and who are not, people who pay attention to nutritional label on the food products and who do not pay attention to, and males and females. Consequently, the corresponding non-hypothesis is that people who are on a special diet and who are not on a special diet do not differ in the evaluation of advertisements. Alternate hypothesis will be people who are on a special diet and people who are not on a special diet do differ in the evaluation of advertisements. Same type of hypothesis was applied to both attention and gender. After running all 3 independent t-tests on SPSS, we found that all the p-value were greater than 0.05, which made statistics were insignificant. Therefore, we do not reject the non-hypothesis. People who are on a special diet and who are not, people who pay attention to the nutritional label on the food products and who do not pay attention to, and males and females behave the same way to the evaluation of advertisements. Therefore, we conclude that diet, attention to nutritional label on the food products, and sex of respondents do not affect the evaluation of advertisements.
Hello, I'm Chloe, and I will further talk about RQ1 of RO2. Race is also tested for the research with one-way ANOVA test. As 22% of the responses are collected from Caucasians, 69.9% of the respondents are Asians, and 6.1% of the respondents are of other races. Therefore, we focus on these three types of races and see if there are any differences between them in evaluating advertisements. Result indicated that evaluation 4, ad is cheery, differs among different racial groups. I'm also going to talk about RQ2, which is to determine if BMI, age, and level of knowledge about food and nutrition affect respondents' evaluation of advertisement. Multiple regression was run for each evaluation, with BMI, age, and knowledge level as independent variables. The null hypothesis is at least one of the independent variables is correlated to the evaluation, and the alternate hypothesis is if the null hypothesis is false. A stepwise method is used for the multiple regression. Non-correlated variables were automatically excluded by SPSS. BMI and knowledge about food and nutrition were excluded in the first, third, and fourth evaluation, which are ad is effective, ad is positive, and ad is cheery, respectively. This indicated that BMI and knowledge level were not significant in affecting these respondents' evaluations. On the other hand, BMI and age were excluded by SPSS in evaluation 5. Ad makes me think, indicating insignificant relationship with this evaluation. However, there are no independent variables significant in affecting evaluation 2 and 6, which are ad is informational and ad's message is clear respectively. While age was significantly and positively correlated to evaluation 1, 3, and 4, indicating that respondents with older age agree more on effectiveness, positivity, and cheerfulness of the advertisements. And for evaluation 5, ad makes me think, correlation between level of knowledge about food and nutrition and this evaluation is significant and positive. This showed that respondents with higher level of knowledge about food and nutrition agree more that the ad's message is clear. Thus, the regression result for respondent evaluations of advertisements support the alternate hypothesis. However, out of the total of 722 responses after data cleaning, 84.4% of them were 18 to 25 years old, and a total number of 448 of the responses were collected among the ages of 20 to 22. The sample size of the responses is not representative for the whole population, and this may affect the accuracy of the research.
Hello, I'm Julia. Now I'm going to talk about the last research objective. From the second research objective, we found that age and the level of knowledge about food and nutrition affects respondents' evaluation on advertisement. Thus, we conduct selection regression to identify how age and knowledge of respondents affect their evaluation on different types of advertisements. What we do is run simple regression for each advertisement evaluation for each group, except the evaluation on advertisement is informational and advertisement's message is clear. Because we found that there are no factors influence them, we divided this research objective into two research questions. The first one is how age affects respondents' evaluation on different groups of advertisement. We have three hypotheses here. For the first evaluation, null hypothesis is there's no relationship between age and rating ad is effective. Alternative hypothesis, there's relationship between age and rating ad is effective. For the third evaluation, null hypothesis is there's no relationship between age and rating ad is positive. Alternative hypothesis is there's relationship between age and rating ad is positive. For the fourth evaluation, null hypothesis is there's no relationship between age and rating ad is cheery. Alternative hypothesis is there's relationship between age and rating ad is cheery. Let's move to the results. For the first advertisement group, the result shows that age does not affect respondents' these three evaluations. Because the coefficient p-values are over 0.05, which means we cannot reach out to now. Additionally, respondents do not agree on effectiveness, cheerfulness, and positivity of the first group of advertisement. For the second advertisement group, we found that age is related to the evaluation of advertisement's effectiveness, with the results show that coefficient p-value is 0.011, which is significant. The regression shows that there is a positive relationship between age and rating ad is effective. For the third and fourth evaluation, ad is positive and ad is cheery. Age does not affect the evaluation. Respondents somewhat agree with the ad is positive and cheery. Moving to the third group of advertisement, which is the non-food related advertisement. The result shows that age does not affect their evaluations. The second research objective is how knowledge level of food and nutrition affect respondents' evaluation on different groups of advertisement. Null hypothesis is there's no relationship between age and rating and makes me think. Alternative hypothesis is there is relationship between age and rating and makes me think. Moving to the result. For the first group of advertisement, the result shows that there's no relationship between knowledge level and the evaluation on and makes me think. Mean with 3.817 shows that respondents somewhat disagree with the ad makes me think. For the second group and third group, results are similar. It shows that the level of knowledge about food and nutrition affects respondents' evaluation with significant p-values. People in high level of knowledge more agree with the ad is plausible.
To conclude these findings for R03, we can summarize that respondents' age has a positive relationship with evaluation 1. Ad is effective for the second group of advertisements. As we mentioned above that 84.4% of the respondents are in the age of 18 to 25 years old, this sample may not accurately represent the whole population. And we concluded that the second group of ad, which is health eating advertisements, are effective for people between 18 to 25 years old based on the sample size. It is also indicated that increased knowledge about food and nutrition will increase the rating on evaluation 5, which is ad makes me think, for the second and third ad group. As respondents of the second group had a higher rating for evaluation 5, therefore we believe the second type of advertisements are more workable for people with high knowledge level about food and nutrition. However, when we substitute highest knowledge level, level 100, into the equation, we didn't get the result for the highest rating for evaluation, which is 7. Therefore, we believe marketers should specifically design more thoughtful ads for the segment with high knowledge about food and nutrition.